To log in SAP log on. So we need to open SAP Eclipse like this. Okay, just to click on this Eclipse button in the desktop level. And we already added the project. Okay, last week we discussed like no calculation view. Let me recall, okay. These are the very important calculation view. Okay, these calculation views, generally we will create two types, okay, dimension and cube. So dimension means this is the master data. Whereas in the BW also we have data two types, right? So in the BW also we have two types, right? Data. That is the master data and transactional data. So master data means here we having material info object, plant, okay, customer, customer, company code. So in the same manner, sales order header, okay, sales order item, delivery, billing. So these are all will come to the transactional data. So in the same way, here also we having like no dimension. So when you are creating calculation view as a dimension, it will behave like a master data. Okay. When you create calculation view as a cube, then it will behave like transactional data. So when you are creating calculation view as a dimension, no measure. No measure means there is no key figure. Key figure. Here we should have key figure. Without key figure, it won't activate. Without key figure, we won't activate the transactional data cube. Okay. That is the main difference. Okay. And now in the when we are going to create calculation view, we having a different nodes came. Okay. When you're creating dimension, by default projection node will come. Projection node will come. By default projection node is coming. If it is a cube, by default aggregation node come. So this is the interview question. Okay, they will ask you when you create calculation view as a cube, then by default aggregation node will come. When you create calculation view as a dimension, by default projection node will come. Okay, this is the important. Okay, and also when you are creating calculation view as a dimension, then there is no key figure. There is no measure at all. When you create calculation view as a cube, then we should have key figures. We should have key figures. Without key figure, we cannot activate it. With the key figures. Okay. And this is, we already seen it. Okay. And also in the earlier, don't confuse in the earlier version. In the earlier, we have three types of views. We have three types of views. That is attribute view, analytical view, analytical view, calculation view, calculation view. So I just comparing with BW. Attribute view is master data, zero material, zero material, okay, zero customer. So this is the attribute view. Analytical view means cube, zero HD underscore C03. Okay, cube. This is like no composite product. This is composite product. Composite product. This is cube. Okay. This is cube. Okay, so now these two are deprecated, attribute view and deprecated. Article view are deprecated. Why they are deprecated, we don't know exactly, but because, okay, when you are creating calculation view, it will execute in the column engine. Okay, calculation engine. So it will give the better performance. So that is the reason they are preferring now calculation view only. So calculation view, when you are creating calculation view of dimension, so it will be same like attribute view. Okay. AT means attribute view. Okay. Are you getting me? So when you are creating calculation view as a dimension, then it will behave like attribute view only. So still we are using attribute view same in this way. When you are creating Okay, when you are creating calculation view as a cube, then it will behave like an analytical view. Okay, but earlier these are like it is executing in the engine, join engine. Okay, it is executing in the join engine. So this is executing in the overlap engine, analytical engine. So this, okay, by using this, it is degrading the performance. That is the reason those two views are deprecated. These two views are deprecated. No one, I think no one was using these attribute views and analytical views nowadays. Wherever you join in the organization, we won't see it. Okay. All are like, no, they're creating calculation view with dimension and calculation view as a cube. Okay. Calculation views will execute in the calculation engine, column engine. Okay. It will give the better performance comparing to earlier. Okay. When you are attending the interview, okay, they will ask you and on calculation view, how many types of calculation views. Okay. So calculation views are two types basically. What is this? One is graphical. Other one is SQL-based scripted SQL calculation view. Okay, SQL scripted. Okay, basically calculation views are two types. Two types. One is graphical and the second one SQL. So mostly we'll use graphical only. Okay, while you are creating calculation view, graphical calculation, again you will get these options. Dimension or cube or blank. Are blank. So when you are creating calculation view as a dimension, it will come like projection node by default. By default, projection node will come. For here, aggregation node will come. Okay, here also projection node will come. So this is what we seen earlier. Okay, just recollecting for 5 minutes. Okay. Now we'll see. Okay, major every interview they will ask you very important input parameter, input parameter and variables. Variables. How we will create in the calculation view. This is very important in calculation view. Okay. So we'll see. Okay. Once you see here, under the catalog, we have a schema. Okay. Here we can see all the tables and expand your schema and you can see all the tables. Based on tables, we need to create the one calculation view. Okay. So here we are going to create all these options over here. Okay. And we'll create one calculation view and we'll see it. Okay. See, we are creating calculation view graphical and with the cube. Okay. This will support, this will support transactional data. Now I will drag and drop projection now. Okay. I will drag and drop projection now. Look for table. and now it is searching it. It will take some time. See, once we add VBAC table, we can see all these options. And I will change the projection one name. Okay. Yeah. Now we'll select only important objects. Okay, we'll take these options. And one more thing. So, for example, so here we didn't select any object. Okay, here also we didn't select any object. So one option is there here. Okay. Mm, Propagate to semantic. Just right click on this, you are getting right propagate to semantic. That means it is mapping to semantic level still. Okay, from here to here, no need to map it. Automatically it will map when you are clicking on this option. See, I just clicking on this. What it is saying it propagate to aggregation node. See, so now I can see it. So by default it is coming under the columns. That is the option uses, okay? Propagate to semantic. See, it will go automatically. Click and okay. How many fields are there at one time? We cannot able to do it. So just click on this. It will go to from here to here automatically. Here also will go all option. Okay. In the BW like that, so we need to map each and everything. So from maybe you will get confusion. Okay, if field already available, then it will not take it up. Okay, this is also sometimes people will ask you in the interview. So, what is the propagative semantic? Okay, so you select one field in the lower level. This is projection node, this is aggregation node, and semantic node. We having three nodes in the calculation view. When you clicking on projection, propagative semantic in the projection node, the field will available for till semantic node. So separately, no need to map it in the aggregation node and semantic node. So automatically system will understand it. So now you can see all options came. Okay, see. So and if you want to go to top, okay. I want to keep this as a top. This is client. I want to keep as a top. Now you can do it like this. You can keep the sequence in this way. Okay, and you have to do it like no, we need to tell the system which is the master data, which is the key figure, which is the dimension, which is the Measure. Measure means key figure. Dimension means info objects. So we need to inform to the system. See, we have a auto assign in the right side corner. Once you click on this, system will understand. Okay, it will make it up sum. So this is not a sum. We'll make it as a attribute. Okay. Document number is not sum. Okay. Client also it is not sum. So system is understanding attribute. So only net-well is the sum. Okay. Now go to view properties. Just change this. Okay. And activate it. Okay. Once activate this calculation view, see now it is activated. There was no issue. Okay. Now you can see the data. Right click and you can see the data. See now you can see all the data. But I wanted to create one. I wanted to create one input parameter. So you can see multiple sales organizations. See here 1720. Okay. Under this menu we have okay 81351710. So we want to create one variable and based on the input we need to see the data. Basically, what is the main difference between input and variable? So okay, both we will use for restrict. Both we will use for restrict purpose. These two we will use for only restrict the data. And okay, so here just understand it. We can able to create input parameter at any node level. I can able to create input parameter in the projection node. See how we will create the input parameter. You can see here option. In the projection node, I can able to create input parameter. And here also you can create input parameter aggregation node. And semantic also I can able to create projection node. I can create input parameter. See, these are the options, these many options are there, but I cannot able to create variable in projection level. We cannot create variable here. We cannot create variable here. Only in semantic level, we can create the variable. This is the option. So what it will happen, say variables, we can able to create only semantic node level. Semantic node level. And we can create input parameter any node level. Okay, any node level. It will give the better performance. Okay, it will give the performance comparing to input parameter. Why? Because see here I'm not restricting any data. Here also I'm not restricting the data. Here we have the data. Assume like here we having 1 million data. We have a 1 million data here. Here also we'll get 1 million data. Here we'll get 1 million data. For 1 million data, if you put variable, here only it is restricting the data. Okay. Here only we are on top of result set, we are putting the variable and we are restricting the data. When you are creating input parameter, here we are restricting the data. So out of 10 millions, it will restrict only whatever you require. For example, I have a sales organization 17110. So when I put 17110, so we'll get only 1 lakh data. See, we are restricting the data at lower level. Variable, we are restricting the data on top level. So that is the way it is degrading the performance. Okay. See, let's see how we will create variable, how we will create, okay. See here, I'm going to create variable here, create variable. So we are selecting attribute, okay. In this calculation view, whatever we creating, we already created calculation view. What is the calculation view name? CV underscore IN. So CV underscore IN, which is currently using, okay, current view. So on top of which field we are going to create? So this is sales organization. On top of this we are creating. Do we have any hierarchy? No. Okay, here you can see multiple values, single value, interviews, range as well. So might be they will ask you in the interview as well. While creating variable, how many options will come? Single, interval, and range. Okay, just note that. Okay, single value. So here I will select. I'll keep it like no. While you are creating variable, single, interval, range, range. Okay. Also we are getting multiple entries and mandatory. Multiple entries, multiple entries and mandatory. Mandatory. So we'll see what is multiple entries, what is mandatory. Okay. So now I'm selecting by default single value. Okay. And we'll see. Sales are okay. Click on OK and activate it. Click on this and activate it. See, this is the variable. And let me activate it. Let me see the data preview. See, now it is asking. So assume like here we having 10 millions data. Now I'm putting, okay, 10 millions data already came. Out of 10 millions data, 1 million data, we are putting the filter. Okay, and this is the data. I can see only sales are 1710 only. I don't see other data. Okay, we won't see it. Okay. Or else you can go analytics and you can drag and drop only sales are okay, only sales are you can see it. You can see it. So we don't have any 1710. Okay. And you can see here and remove this one 1710. Now execute again data preview. So I will not give any input, okay? I will not give any variable and all. Just executing. So now you can see drag and drop this one and drag and drop variables. Now you can see the values in the table. See how many sales organizations are there? See 1710, 1711. You can see these many values. This is the net amount for this particular company. Sales are like almost same like a company only. In some situations, it will divide as a two sales org for one company. Okay, for me, like sales org is equal to company code. Okay, say company code 1710 and sales org also 1710. Sometimes it will divide two. Okay, so now you can see it. These many options came. So when you put calculation view, when you put variable, it is restricting the data. Click here. Which one you want? 815, 8135 and click OK. See, now you can see only this is the advantage, okay? But so on top of 10, on top of 1 million data, you are restricting the data. Observe it. On top of 1 million data, you are restricting the data. So we'll see in other options as well. And okay, here. Let me go here and I will change. See now as of now we see in single value. I'll select mandatory. What will happen we'll see. This is same like BW only. Click and data preview. So I'm trying to click OK. See what it's saying? It is throwing error. So because we clicked on mandatory. So one or more mandatory variable input parameter values have not been entered. So that means we need to enter one value at least. Click here and you can select anything and then only it will give the value. Because it is a mandatory. Business user need to give the value, otherwise it will throw error. Okay. Dynamically we need to enter the value. Okay. So you will get the value. And let's see other options as well. See, and if you want to give intervals, if you want to give any intervals, now click OK. See now, when you select an interval, we can able to see here between. Earlier we having like no equal. Earlier we having a equal. Now we having between. Which will 1710 I will select and I will select 17111. So if we select 1720, what will happen? Okay, five our sales organizations will come. Now we'll get only two, I guess. Okay, we'll get only two. So when you click here, select, I'll select this one. I'll select 1720. See, in the same sequence, it will take five sales arcs in between. See, in between. Are you getting? So very important while you creating this variable in the calculation, they will ask you in the interview what is the options will come here. Okay. So you can see just observe selection type, single, interval and range. Let me take range as well. Yeah. See now again I'm getting like no equal for the range. I will give here and I will select 8130. See, and let me select multiple values. I'll remove mandatory. I will select multiple entries. We'll see.